Welcome to the $100 MBA Show, and today is a Q&A weekend episode where you ask your questions and we answer them right here on the show. If you have a question you want to ask, just email us at contact@100mba.net, or you can use our Speak It option, record your question, we'll play it on the air, and you can check that out at 100mba.net/show. I'm your host, your coach, your teacher, Omar Zenhom. I'm also the co-founder of the $100 MBA, a complete business training and community online. And today's question comes from Pen and Lens Design. They sent it over at Twitter. If you want to send a question at Twitter, you can do that at BizRepublic, B-I-Z Republic. And their question is, how do I approach new clients? This is a very important question. One, because you need to know how to find new clients. And then two, when you approach them, how do you approach them? This is very important because you want to set the tone the right way at the start so you don't have trouble later on. Let me get into it, so let's get down to business. This episode of the $100 MBA Show is sponsored by Nadex, binary options trading. Our listeners can appreciate just how much $100 can do, and so does Nadex. For just $100, you can get started. With Nadex binary options, you trade on whether you think the market will be above or below a certain point at a certain time. Go to Nadex.com and open up a free account. That's Nadex, Nadex.com. Futures, options, and swaps trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. There's an old saying that says that business is a contact sport. The more contacts you make, the better your chances of winning. And this is really applicable to today's topic, how to approach new clients or how to get new clients, and what do you do with them when you have them or when you have that first meeting with them. Well, let's first deal with getting new clients. And again, you need to be out there. The more contact you make with new people that would be your target audience, that would be interested in what you do and what you offer, the more the chances will increase that they will want your services. So in a lot of ways, relationships in business is just like relationships in life. So getting new clients, especially when you're getting started, you need to make sure that everybody knows that you are offering professional services. Contact everyone on your contact list. Anybody you have an email for, email them. Friends, family, distant relatives, let them know that you are now in business. Get on social media. This is going to be your life now, so make sure that everybody knows. If you want to sweeten the pie, you can even offer a referral fee. So if they refer you to somebody, maybe you can give them a discount on their services or maybe even some commission. That's up to you. The other thing is that when Nicole and I started doing services, when we first started working together, we're in the client business services. We did a lot of film work, we did a lot of website work, and a lot of the business we got was just knocking on doors, getting on the street. I know that sounds kind of rough, but we got a lot of business that way. Go to local shops that you frequent and see if they are interested in what you offer. Let them know your business or brand will be displayed on your website, in your portfolio, and the clients that you serve, and it'll help them get some free, advertising. At the same time, you're going to be giving them a great service. You can also check out some of the freelance websites if you're in that kind of business. I'm thinking you guys are in the design business because you called Pen and Lens Design. So check out something like freelancer.com, guru.com, elance.com, odesk.com. These are great sites if you want to just pick up some work quickly, and you can apply to jobs there that people have posted. Another way you can get new clients is just going to a lot of conferences and meetups, even the local ones around in your town. That's not going to cost you much to get to. So get on Eventbrite, go to meetup.com, and find out what events are around you that have to do with your clientele. Go to these meetups, go to these conferences, go to these one-day sessions, whatever they are, and see if somebody's interested. Chat them up, see what's going on. I'm not saying sell them when they're trying to, enjoy a conference, but when they get to know you and know what you do, they'd be like, hey, I'm looking for something, or give me a card. I may need something in the future. Again, it's a contact sport. The more contacts you can make, the better your chances. Another way is to team up with somebody that shares your audience and agree to have them refer clients to you. For example, back in the day when I was running a small web design business, I got my first client from a content creation service business. They were a business that would create blog posts for people. They would write their posts for them. And those blog owners would ask if they knew anyone who can redesign their site. I was that anyone. So the owner of that content creation business would contact me and say, hey, I got somebody who wants a redesign. Would you like a project? And I took it on, and they would get a little bit of a commission for that. So it was a win-win situation, and it was a way for me to get clients that I needed. So now that you got some clients, how do you deal with a new client? This is so important. You need to make sure you set the tone right at the start. Just like in any relationship, after your first conversation, people have already formed an opinion of each other. The client has already imagined what working with you will be like, and that's just human nature. They're not just trying to judge you. We all do this in our head. The good news is that you're in control. The bad news is you're in control. So you need to make sure that you take it in the right direction. So here are 4 things I think you really must do when you're dealing with clients. The first thing, you have to have an initial discussion to clarify why they're hiring you. Sometimes clients forget that when they're hiring you, they are not your boss and you're not their employee. You're a business owner just like them, offering a service they need. Let me say that again. You are offering a service they need. They need you. That's why you're speaking with them. They are not the pro. You are. That's why they took the time to find you out and contact you. Even if you contacted them, they're willing to speak to you because they need you. Whether they state it or not, it's the truth. And setting the tone of the nature of the relationship doesn't have to be mean or condescending, but it needs to be done. Here's a quick example of what I'm talking about. Let's say, for example, a client goes up and wants a website design. I'm giving you an example from my own experience. The client would say, I really need a website to look professional and to show what I'm all about. They're giving me a demand. So my immediate reply to set the tone would be, I completely understand, and you're completely right. As a business owner myself, I know how important it is to convey my brand. Your reputation is at stake. The client had to agree with that and says, exactly, it's essential. I would continue to say, that's why I like to take the time to understand you and your business very well before I begin work. My clients don't work with me because I'm a great web developer. They hire me mainly because I know how to communicate their message to their audience creatively. The client had to agree to that and says, that sounds exactly what I need. The whole point of this conversation is for me to establish the nature of the relationship. You have something they need, not the other way around. I also need to clarify that I am not a technician. I don't just create websites like I am, building an IKEA desk or something, I possess skills and talents they don't have. I have taste, I have creativity, and that's why you're hiring me, not because I'm putting things together like I'm building with Legos or something. No offense to Lego fans, guys. It also communicates that you know your stuff, and also it communicates that you're not an employee and you're a business owner just like them. So make sure you set the tone in this manner in a polite, smiley way. You don't need to be rude, but just let them know that, hey, I'm a business owner just like you. I am working on my business. I understand where you're coming from. I am an expert. What you're trying to do here is you're trying to build trust so they can just trust you to do your job. Make sure you state your rate or decide on a budget, and only start work with a deposit. Trust me, you're asking for trouble if you're going to start work without a deposit. I didn't get all my gray hairs for nothing. A deposit is standard, and it's what professionals do. So make sure that you start with a deposit. And that could be anything that you decide, 25%, 50%, whatever you choose. Make sure you agree on a timeline and just get going. A close friend of mine, Chris Johnson, and the host of the upcoming new podcast in our network, The Line Which Is Dotted, he once said something to me that's really great to remember. And it's, when a client smells the scent of desperation, you've lost already. You need to make sure that, you may want this client badly, but at the point, you need to make sure that you keep your dignity intact. I'm not saying be arrogant, but have self-respect. Make sure that they understand that you're a professional, and people want to work with professionals. People want to work with people that they feel privileged to work with. So just keep that in mind when you're approaching new clients. I hope that answers your question, Pen and Lens Design. Thanks again for asking it. Again, guys, if you have a question you want to ask on Q&A Weekends, just email us at contact@100mba.net. A couple announcements that I've been announcing this week. One, our new podcast, Webinar Ninja, all about webinars, teaching, learning, presenting, communicating, is launching next week, the week of the 15th. We are so excited for that launch. If you want to learn more about that podcast and the Webinar Ninja platform, visit webinarninja.co. Also, if you're looking for a coaching program that's affordable and effective, you should check out our lab program. We just opened up enrollment for our second cohort. If you're interested in getting some support, guidance, some clarity with what you're doing, with what you're building, I would love to help you guys in our coaching program. We meet once a week, live on video. It's a lot of fun, and it gets results. You can check out some of the testimonials at 100mba.net/lab. I hope to see some of you guys there. Guys, I want to leave you with this. It takes some time to get really comfortable when approaching new clients. It took me years, actually, because you're trying to fine-tune your elevator pitch. instead of using that elevator pitch when you're networking at a conference, you're using it with clients. You're trying to refine your skill to communicate what you do, how you do it, how effective you are in the most concise fashion. At the same time, you want to be able to communicate what they're going to get, the value you offer, also in a concise fashion. So it takes some time, so don't be so hard on yourself if you feel you're out of your element here. Don't think, oh, maybe I'm not cut out for this. It just takes time. It takes practice. It also just takes, entrepreneurial maturity is what I call it. You just takes time for you to get into the skin of who you are as an entrepreneur. And once you get more comfortable with that, the more comfortable you will be when you approach new clients. Guys, I hope that helps, and I hope you loved today's episode. Drop us on iTunes a rating and a review if you loved it. I'll check you guys in the next episode. Take care.